The release of Season of Discovery Phase 2 is closer than ever before, and today I will be sharing my launch plans and what I will be doing on my way to 40. So I will be playing on a European PvP server, but it's going to be medium populated, so I believe there's not going to be too much competition and also no queue when we can finally enjoy the game. One of the main reasons why I enjoy the server so much is because I never see any gold DKPs being advertised, and for that specific reason you don't see many bots in the game as well. So most players I meet is also going to be real players. But with the new changes to gold DKPs in Phase 2, then I guess it won't really be a big problem. And they're also going to introduce a new system that will detect bots and hacks a lot easier. So I guess we'll probably not see that many bots in Phase 2, no matter what server you're playing on. Because I have a ton of things going on right now, then I will not be able to level up many characters. So I will level my main and an alt. And my alt character I will log in at the launch day simply to log out and start gaining rested experience, and then I will level my main character to 40. I've done quite a few preparations, for example getting 2 different world buffs, and these I will activate the moment I get into a zone where there's only gonna be quests for one faction, for example Red Ridge Mountains, Duskwood or Wetlands as an alliance player. Here I can then level without getting ganked, and I can keep the buffs for 2 hours. At the launch day, I plan to get to 30 as quickly as possible, so I will also be ahead of the competition without having to be at the same quest as everyone else, and then I will most likely just be enjoying the journey from 30 to 40, so doing different things like trying to get the STV arena chest, as it might be quite easy to get these trinkets and maybe even the rare trinket while everyone is leveling, as I believe not that many players will attempt to go for these. Another reason why I will head to Stranglethorn and quest at around level 30 is because there's going to be this new PvP event happening every 3 hours. The duration is going to be 30 minutes and there's going to be amazing rewards. Not just rare items, no, we're talking about level 40 epic items from weapons, rings, trinkets and many other useful things. I'm just gonna show you a couple of these. If you would like to see all the different rewards, then make sure to check out my other video with all the different Phase 2 changes that will happen. There's also going to be new quests you can pick up in Stranglethorn to get a Raffi Basin reputation. Yet another thing you gotta focus on as you're leveling up, because by the time you get to level 38 you can also purchase some decent rare items. One thing I know I will definitely also do is to do dungeons as I'm leveling up, so I can complete the different quests to gain more experience, but also to get different rewards. And I'll also be doing the dungeons to get rare items, so when I get to level 40 I will also not have to do as many dungeons before I have decent gear to do the new raid. I feel like it's also mandatory to do all the different dungeons, as you can acquire yourself some new skill books that will learn you new runes or well, new abilities and spells. Another important thing to highlight is that the different rewards you can obtain in the dungeons has also been reworked, so the stats are way better compared to original Classic. I've also prepared 20 completed quests and many other things that I've covered in my preparation video that you can find on my channel. But the reason why I've prepared this is so I can also get to level 27 rather quickly and get ahead of the competition. By this point I can then enjoy the leveling without having to fight over every single monster, as most people might not be at those quests. If I had a gather profession, it would also give me a huge benefit when I go to Stranglethorn, as I might not have too much competition for the different materials like herbs and veins. This will also allow you to craft new things even quicker, and some of them might be useful as you're leveling up. That's why I've prepared leather and different patterns, so I can also craft new leatherworking items and use these as I'm leveling up. Blizzard has also mentioned that they're going to implement even more things you can craft while you level up your professions, and also new level 40 epic items, so therefore I will also level up my profession from 150 to 225 as quickly as possible. I will be questing and doing dungeons, but at some levels I might also just take a break and farm monsters to gain experience, but also materials I might need to level up my profession or to, for example, craft a nice rare item. Another thing I will also do every single week is to make sure I do PvP, so I can also rank up and maybe purchase some of the new rewards in Phase 2. Some of them will even be useful when you're gonna do PvE. Another thing I've also done is to purchase the level 28 and 38 PvP gear, so I can equip these as I'm leveling up, and the level 38 version will also be useful when I have to start raiding. So if you haven't already reached Honored with the Wars and Goals faction in Phase 1, then I would highly recommend you to do this as quickly as possible. Another thing I would also highly recommend you to do is to check out my preparation video, leveling guides and many other things for Phase 2, Those can be found on my channel, and soon I'll also publish a lot more videos. So make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to get notified when I post these.